Gravity is not a force per se. It is not like the other forces of nature. The three forces of nature: the strong nuclear force, the electromagnetic force, and the weak nuclear force. Gravity is not like them. And the reason why is because gravity is a an effect that is felt at a macro scale. So when you only become aware of gravity's influence when these three fundamental forces have built sufficient complexity or sufficient uh, macro bodies that can now begin to experience what anyone can now infer as a gravitational force. So you can see that the gravity is because we're only concerned about gravity when we're talking about classical physics, and we're talking about cosmology or astronomical bodies that are very large, because we tend to ascribe the effect of gravity to mass. But that's not really a thing because gravity can be caused by all sorts of things, not just masses. Energy causes gravity, and if energy causes gravity, then momentum causes gravity. So gravity is not if it's not like the other forces. It is a construct, and it is a construct. I call it a construct built by organized complexity because it is most scientists, most cosmologists have inferred that gravity is what builds the solar system. Gravity is what builds the universe, responsible for the large scale structure of the universe. But when you look at the large scale structure of the universe, you find the exact opposite. It's anti gravity. The universe is thought to be expanding, and this expansion is thought to be accelerating. So that's because on the larger scales of the universe as a whole, there's no gravity. Because you have to understand that if gravity is the result of energy and momentum, then you're now and what is energy? Energy is classical physics describes energy as the ability to do work. But that's not a very correct definition because if the universe is expanding, then what is doing that expansion? It has to be some type of energy, right? But it's not doing any work. The net, it's negative. It's creating energy out of nothing, and that energy is responsible for expanding the universe. So I like if you've been listening to my podcast, I don't quite agree with these perspectives because I don't believe that the universe is expanding per se. Because an expansion means the propagation of some type of edge. There is no edge to the universe. There is no skin to the universe. It's not a bubble. I know we like to conceptualize and idealize the universe as some type of bubble, but it's not a bubble. There is no end to space. That's really what it is. So a good analogy is to imagine the three fundamental forces: the strong nuclear force, the electromagnetic force, and the weak nuclear force. You can imagine them as three types of builders. Maybe one person knows how to build with concrete, the other one knows how to build with steel, or iron, and the other one knows how to do interior decorating or whatever. Now these three forces come together to build a house, for instance, and then you can appreciate the beauty of the house. Gravity is that beauty. Do you understand? But the beauty cannot be found in the concrete. The beauty cannot be found in the interior decorating style or pattern or whatever. What I'm trying to say is that gravity is an emergent property, and it is a feature of organized complexity, meaning when there's a complexity that is built. For instance, a planet is more complex than a point, for instance, or an electron, for instance, or a proton. Now, when these three fundamental forces, when they build physical reality, that's only when you see gravity. So gravity, being an emergent phenomenon, is perception, meaning that you only perceive gravity from a narrow set of circumstances. Once you perceive those circumstances, then you can infer that gravity is at work. But the truth is, as Einstein once demonstrated, is that there is no difference between gravity due to a planet or massive body and an